Hey guys, my first rat rod, right there, 454 Rat Recon. Yeah, this thing is pretty cool. I got airbags in the rear. It's got what I call a wheelbarrow effect. When you air it up, it kicks the back up and the whole thing is off the ground. But anyway, I built this. When I built this, I wasn't doing YouTube videos hardly ever, but I still had my channel, but I wasn't doing that with it. But I do got a lot of pictures. So as I'm talking about it here, I'll show you some pictures so you can kind of get an idea of what the build was like. So I get over here and stand beside it and give you an idea how low it is. I'm kind of nasty, I've been working. Yeah, it's low, really low. It's cool, really cool too. Wins a lot of trophies too. So I want to tell you the story on this rat rod. Some of you already heard the story, but most of you probably have not. But anyway, when I built this shop, like 12, 14 years ago, I started building stuff, working on stuff. I built that red Dodge 1-ton with the Alcoa semi wheels on it, 9-speed Road Ranger. I built a Mitsubishi, which was front wheel drive. I converted to rear wheel drive and built a Windsor stroker motor, like 408 cubic inch stroker motor for that. Built a couple Harley Davidsons. And my brother, he's 11 years older than me. He's the one that inspired me to be a mechanic back when I was a teenager. We used to do shade tree mechanic stuff. But anyway, he was at the Cruising the Coast one year. And when he got back, he called me and said, "Robert, you got all them junk cars around there. I've been to Cruising the Coast. You need to build a rat rod. They got some really cool rat rods running up down the road out here." And so I got to thinking, got on the internet, started doing research on rat rods, and got kind of interested. I said, man, I don't know if I got anything to build something like that, but it was an interesting thought anyway. And I got one of the pictures I found online was this Cut Worm Specialties scratch build he built from scratch. And I said, man, that thing is so cool. That is really cool. And then my neighbor up here called me one day and said, hey, could you come over and help me? I'm building this monster truck. It's got deuce and a half frame and all that. I'm taking a deuce and a half cab off of it. I'm gonna put a 70 Chevy pickup cab, bed and all that on it. Build me a monster truck. I said, yeah, I'll come help you. And so I helped him pull the cab off that deuce and a half chassis and all. And I said, what are you gonna do with that? And he said, why? You want it? I said, yeah, I like to have it. He said, you can have it if you want it. Because I looked at it and I thought about that Cut Worm Specialties car. I said, man, I could chop this cab up and make it look something like that Cut Worm Specialties cool looking ride out of that. I could make something out of that. And so that's what I done. I brought the cab home. One of the first things I done, I chopped the top like 8 inches. I sectioned the bottom about 6 inches. So actually the cab was like 16 inches, 14 inches shorter than what it was stock. Plus I narrowed it about a foot. It's about a foot narrower than the deuce and a half cab. I built the cowl from scratch on the front of it. Same neighbor that gave me the cab, he said, I know where you could buy a Winnebago for like $400. Low mileage, runs good, it just leaks a lot. And so I said, yeah, that'd be, man, I could take that and use the drivetrain to build this rat rod I want to build. So I got it here, stripped the cabin off of it, pulled the drivetrain, rear end, frame down to scratch, and started with that. And I took the frame, which was a 6-inch channel iron. So I took that 6-inch channel iron and split it and welded the two pieces together, making like a 3-inch square rectangle, 3-inch square tubing, 1/4-inch thick. That's what you see back here. As I took that 6-inch and split it and welded the two pieces together. And that's the rear end when they come out of the motorhome. It's a 411 gear. Disc brakes too. Got disc brakes front and rear. And I didn't have no front axle. I said I need a front axle. So I found another motorhome, which was an '89 Ford. The Ford motorhome had a twin I-beam front suspension. So I took the twin I-beams out and I cut the ends. This end's off the twin I-beams, and I bought me some 1x2 flat bar, 1/4-inch thick, and I built that straight axle right there and welded them ends on each end. So this is the spindles and the front disc brakes and all out of the '89 motorhome. So it's got a different wheel bolt pattern because this Ford 8 lug, the rear is a 10 lug. They 19.5 wheels, front 16-inch wheels. And this front section of the frame is was on the back of the motorhome, from like the rear end back to extend it. That's what size it was, like what is it, 3x4 or 3x5, something like that. And so I run it back, and it's connected back here somewhere, where you kind of see right there where it's connects to the square frame. And I built me some hairpins, and I had a Ford Explorer, and I pulled a torsion bar suspension out of it, and that's what I use. It's kind of hard to see how it works, but I got some pictures. I can show you what it looks like took apart. It's got torsion bar. I don't know if you can see. Probably not. But this is the back of them. This is the lever in the back, and you got the adjustment down there to adjust them. But the bar runs on the inside right through there. And of course I made a suicide. I moved a tie rod to the front. Got a Mustang, 65 Mustang steering box that I turned sideways and all that good stuff to make that work. And I took the old 454 that was in the motorhome, which would run great, and put a aluminum air gap intake on it, and the stainless steel headers. Of course, they don't look stainless steel anymore, but they was real nice and shiny at one time. Same with the pulleys. But I got about 3/4 of the way done with it. My brother was watching me on YouTube. I mean, well, he wasn't watching me on YouTube, because I didn't even start my YouTube channel really good yet. I had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't doing anything with it at the time. But I'd send him pictures of stuff, and he said, I want to come help you out. He lives 2 hours away, but he'd come spend a few days with me several times, and he helped me finish it up. And me and his been having fun with it ever since. He kept it at his house for a year or so, bring it to shows, and
Oh, you gotta race. I bet you like that. Yeah, I run somebody.
win trophies and cruise around, and I had it up here, bring it to shows and cruise around. Me and Red, even Red likes it. Red even got to drive it, kind of, sort of. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, me and Red had fun with it. Me and my brother had fun with it. Then it got the time I need to move on to something else, and so I let it go. And it went through a couple hands, and the last guy that had it, he had this, He had 3 of them actually. He had this, he had the Falcon, and he had the 47 rat rod. He had 3 of them of mine that he had got from me. And he had a place to store them and all that good stuff, and then he moved to another location and he didn't have room to store them all inside. And so this one and the Falcon had to sit outside, been outside for a couple of years actually. So that's why it don't look as good as it used to, because it's, you know, outdoors is not good for a rat rod for sure. And so Michael Viters bought the 47 from him, and then he started making a deal on the other 2. And you seen him making rat rods great again video where Michael brought this one and the Falcon here. We put in a big block forward blower motor in the Falcon, and I've been working on cleaning this one up a little bit, changing a few things, getting it back kind of roadworthy, trying to make it look a little bit better. And I got it looking a little bit better, but it still needs a lot of help. Yeah, I'll show you what I got. I'll show you what I've done here last day or so. So the air system back here has got a high dollar air zenith compressor, and I built the tank. Battery sitting on the tank, a 4x4 tank, and I got 2 air lines going from here up to the dash gauges. One gauge is for the air tank pressure, and one gauge is for the airbag pressure. But those lines got dried and brittle and started breaking, air leaks. And so I had to replace those lines. That blue one and that one of the black ones goes all the way up to the front, inside the cab to the gauges. That's a 200 PSI compressor. So the switch that come with it, which is right there, it had a 190 cut off switch, and I figured that was more than I needed. It was a lot of work on the compressor, so I swapped that to a 125 PSI switch. And being the tank's probably nasty on the inside now after years, I put a filter, I don't know if you can see it, but it's an inline air filter. So I got the air system back working like it's supposed to now. Works really good. And I've been doing a little bit cleaning up on it. It was pretty nasty. You can imagine sitting outside. Of course, the guy had the engine covered up, but the rest of it was not covered up. And the valve covers was rusted really bad. I took a wire wheel of those and ground much of the rust off as I can get off of it. Clean those up a little bit. Headlight rims were rusted. I wire wheeled those, and then I wiped it down with some mineral spirits after I done that. I got it looking a little bit better, but it still needs a lot of help. But it still runs good. It runs great actually. Transmission still works great. Everything works. All the lights got turn signals. My brother, he wanted to do it all. We got turn signals. He got seat belts in it and the whole 9 yards. I don't know if you can see this really good, but still got the deuce and a half dash. You see, I had to cut it up too to make it fit. A lot of the deuce and a half stuff still in here. Got the hand grenade shift knob. The windows still fold out like they're supposed to, so that's pretty cool. Just got some old cheap seats in it, but hey, they work. They work fine. Got the electrical in the glove box. Yep. Easy to get to. Yeah, it's great. Kind of, sort of. We got a little rust back there and need some more help. Dirt dauber. You see it's got a new alternator on it. You can tell, right? Yeah, I wasn't charging when we got it back, and since it's got electric air compressor, we really needed to charge. So we put a new alternator on it, got it charging now. Yeah, headlights work bright and dim too. Tail lights, blinkers are not working, maybe a fuse. I hadn't checked into that yet, but it's got turn signals, but right now they're not working. But Michael's gonna take it home, and he's gonna show it some love, I'm assuming. I don't know what all he's gonna do to it, but he's got a rat rod. He got two. He got the 47, and he got this, but he got three actually, and he got the Falcon too. And when we get that big block forward blower motor in the Falcon, actually he's gonna come help me put that in. He's gonna bring the motor, we're gonna install it. He's gonna bring the Falcon and this back home, Maryland, and play with them. They have three of my rat rods in, 47, a Recon, and a Falcon. Yeah. He's the monster truck guy, by the way, in case you don't know. But that's all I'm gonna do to this right now. I'm fixing to park it back under the shed and get the 34 over here in the middle of the shop and get back to work on it while I'm waiting on more parts for the Demon Falcon. Well, I can't call it Demon because we changed the name of it. Now it's called Falconstein. So when I get more Falconstein parts, I'm gonna get it back in here and do some more work to it. Try to get it completely ready for an engine. So all we had to do is put the engine in it and go when he gets there with it. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this out and put it back in storage for now. Hey Red, I just made a trip to my brother's house down in Louisiana. I brought back something you might be interested in. Mama! Yeah, most of you already know this, but Red started out life as an air breather on this rat rod, and then he grew an abdomen, and then some arms and hands, and then finally some feet and legs. Let's go for a spin, Bob! Alright, Red, get in. You ready, Red? I'm ready, Bob! put it in gear, Mom. We started moving.